A survival game is a game in which the player starts off with little to nothing and has to gather items and make shelter in order to survive against the game's environment, the creatures that live in it, and if the game supports it, other players. So what started the survival game genre? How do survival games hold up in today's market, and how do these games hold up against other genres? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Genre Origins. In 1992, Unreal World was released by developer Enormous Elk on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Unreal World had aspects of Finnish mythology, and the player can adopt one of 10 Finnish cultures. Examples of these are fishing, hermit, trapper, and tradesman. Unreal World is considered the first game to focus on survival. Events such as snowstorms can occur in the world and can kill the player quite quickly. The game has an open world approach similar to modern day survival games, and the player must create shelter and hunt animals to survive the world the game is set in. There have been many other survival games published since the release of Unreal World, however none in particular have been as influential as Minecraft. Minecraft is a game that was created and designed by Swedish game designer Marcus Persson. Marcus first released Minecraft to the public on the 17th of March 2009. This version of the game would be known as Classic Version later on. After using the money from the purchases of the Classic Version, Marcus would then quit his job to work on Minecraft full-time. On the 28th of June 2010, the alpha version of Minecraft was released. With many new additions to the game, Minecraft started to gain traction in the gaming community. Marcus then used the money from the purchases of the game to set up the company known as Mojang. Nowadays, Minecraft has one, or if not the largest communities of any game. The game comprises of a simple three-dimensional graphics system which features simple blocks that the player can mine, place somewhere else to build with, or craft a variety of items and tools. Minecraft starts the players out in a randomly generated world where they have to collect certain resources to build a house before nighttime when the monsters come out. The player must also hunt animals or plant crops to feed themselves, as the game has a hunger system where if the player doesn't eat, they will die. Minecraft was fully released on the 11th of November 2011 and receives regular updates to this day. Whilst not a typical survival game, Call of Duty World at War, released on November 11th, 2008 and developed by Treyarch, was a first-person shooter which took the popular series back to the Second World War. Originally as an Easter egg for after the player had completed the campaign, Call of Duty Zombies put the player in the shoes of a US Marine stranded in an abandoned building after the war. The player starts off with a simple pistol and must fend off waves upon waves of undead Nazis. The player acquires points for shooting and killing said zombies and can purchase other powerful weapons to help survive for longer. The game has what's known as a round-based system, which means that each round a certain amount of zombies are placed into the game, and upon killing one, the game will add more and make them tougher to kill. The player's goal is to survive as long as they can, solo or with their friends, against the unrelenting horde of the undead Third Reich. Treyarch have included zombies in every game they have done post-release of World at War, and even though nowadays Nocturne on Toten looks quite bare bones to a map such as Shadows of Evil, which gives the player many other ways to survive, such as giving the player parts to create a personal shield or drinkable perks, each map gives the player a different survival experience and different challenges for the player. Originally released as a mod for Arma 2, DayZ, independently created by Dean Hall, is a game which has you play as a character in a fictional post-Soviet state of Chernarus, where a mysterious sickness has infected most of the population. The player must scavenge for food, weapons, ammunition, medical supplies, and water in an attempt to survive against the vicious zombies and many of the hostile real-world players in the game. The game includes the aspect of PvP, or player versus player, where if you see another player in the game, you can either kill them, befriend them, or just leave them be. Within the first month of being available to the public, 1 million players had already downloaded the game. Many of them buying Arma 2 solely to play this mod. DayZ would eventually be picked up by Arma 2's developer Bohemia Interactive and turned into its very own standalone game with Dean Hall as the project manager. Released in its alpha state in June 2nd, 2015 on Windows, Ark Survival Evolved is one of the most recent survival games to be released. Developed by Studio Wildcard, Ark Survival Evolved puts the player on a mysterious island where they must create tools and weapons to hunt dinosaurs in order to help them level up and unlock a variety of engrams. Ark is unique in the fact that players can level up and upgrade certain statistics such as health, stamina, weight, melee damage, and more. This allows the player to truly play the game how they want and not feel restricted. The game includes different playable environments where the player can choose to survive. These include the island, the center, scorched earth, and Ragnarok being included within the full release of the game. Ark also allows the player to tame the creatures they find. These creatures can either be ridden or used for farming purposes. Ark is set for its full release on the 29th of August 2017. In the current market of games, survival games seem to be thriving the most, sales-wise and streaming-wise. On the streaming site known as Twitch, the second most streamed game is PlayerUnknown's Battleground, with an average of over 60,000 viewers at all times of the day. Other games such as Ark and Minecraft are some of the biggest current console and PC sellers and don't seem to be in decline. Currently, most survival games have quite unique aspects which keeps each one feeling fresh and different even though their core principles are the same. Popular modern survival games include The Forest, Friday the 13th the Game, 7 Days to Die, Unturned, and Terraria, only to name a few. The reason why these games are doing so well is due to the fact that the developers are constantly communicating with their community of players and giving their games frequent updates which include bug fixes and new content. The survival genre is one of the biggest in years and doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon.